I'm proud of leading this organization that has been handling these multiple crises and actually been delivering to all our stakeholders. It's an amazing job you have done, and I'm not going to repeat what all my great leaders talked about. And there's so many things we did in the first half year, which is just outstanding. For me, this is a quarter that, or the first half year, is really special. I mean, I have, as you know, always been very focused to have the stakeholder inclusion, thinking about all four stakeholders in every decision we do. And remember, the first priority we had coming into this pandemic was the safety and health of all of us. That's the number one, and it's still the number one. We really need to see that all of us are doing well in these times. But when I think about how we have been operating this first half year, we have actually done good for all our stakeholders. And that's quite unusual you get that over that time period. I think what we as employees has done and how the company has been supporting us from all the way through this pandemic, how swiftly we could move to return from home, how swiftly we also start using different processes for our frontline workers. There's a lot of things we should be proud of, how we have been acting in that area. If I think about what I'm trying to do to really stay energized, which is for me important given the responsibility that I have, I try to talk to more people than I ever have talked to. And I reach out to people that sometimes I have talked to for half a year ago. And I just send them a text and a talk, and it has been a way in this pandemic to reach out to more people than ever. That has given me a lot of energy, and it has given me also new ideas. I mean, a lot of things in this crisis is about listening, and ultimately you need to get energy, all of you. And I have a preaching that you should take time off, and you should see that you recharge your battery. It's hard this time, but it's important to do that so you come strong and energized. And I am announcing here that next week I have vacation. I have 1 week vacation next week. So for me, I have to do it as well. Everyone has to do that. And seeing that we're recharging our batteries, because it's going to be a tough second half as well. But the only confidence I have that we have the greatest team and the greatest values in this industry, and how you have showed up the first half year is just amazing. And I'm confident we're going to do it in the second half of 2020 as well. I'm going to be there. My leadership team is going to be there. Everyone is going to be there. All the V team is going to be there, and continue to support the four stakeholders that we are committed to, our strategy and our strategic priorities. So that's what I want to send to you as we are heading into the second half. And thank you everyone again for the fantastic work you're doing. And all in all, thanks for the first half, and looking forward to a fantastic second half.
There we go. That was our CEO and Chairman Hans Vestberg on Friday during our Q2 results webcast, giving us a kind of an outline of how we performed in the first half of the year and what we can expect for the next half. Hans is not with us today. You heard him taking a vacation this week. We will hold him to that, hopefully not lurking around here anywhere. So we'll get some updates from Christy, our people leader, our HR leader, about things going on. But I do want to remind you, if you missed the webcast Friday, it is online, available for you both on the street, VZ Web, and InsideVerizon.com. Go back and take a look and give that a watch if you want to. But good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. Welcome to Monday. Here we are, 12:04 on the East Coast. Like I said, Christy is with us today for some updates. Christy, this is the big one for us this week, talking about VZPulse Plus. I know just a few minutes ago, haven't been able to do it. It hit my mailbox. I've got to do the survey after Up to Speed Live. Tell us why this survey is different and what employees should expect with the VZPulse Plus survey. Good Monday to you.
Jeremy, great to be here, and welcome to all the V-teamers that are watching. It is a very exciting Monday indeed. We have launched our Employee Plus, our Pulse Plus employee survey, and as you know, we started the Pulse surveys Q1 of 2019. We continue to do them every quarter, and this is really anchored to our employee North Star. And you know, we have four key stakeholders, and we hear often from Hans about them. One of the four is our employees, and our employee North Star is that we want to have empowered individuals working together with personal accountability to drive collective impact toward a shared mission and purpose. And we want to be able to measure that, and we want to be able to benchmark ourselves. And so all last year, our 4 original Pulse surveys laid a foundation. We continued that throughout the first half of this year. And we've now launched today our Pulse Plus survey. And we're partnering with Gallup because they have an instrument that will allow us to benchmark how we're doing against other companies worldwide. So that's why we're very excited. As you mentioned, it launched this morning. So throughout the day, up until about the early afternoon, the Pulse survey will be launching. Want to remind everybody it will come from an outside address. So we want you to know it's not junk mail. Please take a look at it. We'll continue to remind you that throughout. And we're looking to get as high a participation rate as possible. So we're going to have the survey open from today through August 10th. And so we're really hoping to hear from every V-teamer. One of the things we're most excited about is our participation rate in our surveys. And Jeremy, it's going to run till August 10th, and then we'll be back to hear from Hans and I August 17th from all of the results. So we're really excited about this survey, and mostly we want to hear from all the V-teamers.
Yeah. Anything you want V-teamers to keep in mind when they're taking the survey this time around, Christy?
One of the things that you'll remember is in the second quarter of this year, we actually did 3 surveys, and they were very specific to COVID. So this is going to feel like much more of a normal business as usual employee pulse survey. And we're going to be asking questions about all of our leadership principles, as well as our values, as well as employees' feelings about inclusion and recognition and their link to meaningful work, having the resources they need to do their job, having the tools they need to develop and roll. We also have an open-ended question. And so this is going to feel a lot more like a broader gamut of questions, really looking at the arc of employees feeling aligned with and excited about the purpose and the mission of Verizon, as well as how they feel they're being supported in their job and how well we're living our leadership principles. And so we definitely, the VLC, we take very seriously our employee feedback. And so we want to hear from you. And so that's what I would ask folks to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's good. A reminder that email is hitting mailboxes kind of right now as we're speaking throughout the morning and early day here, depending on where you are. It's open through August 10th, as you said, and then we'll hear from you and Hans later about the result of that. Exciting, and I'm looking forward to taking the survey here in a couple minutes. Pivoting back to our COVID-19 response, obviously that's still making headlines day in and day out. Any new updates or protocols you might want to highlight that you and the team are working through really real time at this point?
So for all the V-teamers out there, everyone continues to do just such an amazing job of managing our response to the COVID crisis. And that's really enabled us to keep ourselves safe and keep everybody connected. A couple of things I'd like to highlight this week is we have our return to office tool, the RTO tool. And we piloted that in June, worked out some of the kinks, and throughout July, each week we've been bringing it live to more of our employee work groups. So we started with our returning to office rotating teams. We then expanded to the retail teams. And now this past week, we've been expanding that out into GN&T and field techs. So very exciting. We now have tens of thousands of employees using our return to office tool. It's week D for any of our folks that are on the rotating office access. And so we are pretty excited about that. That tool, as a reminder, asks people to confirm that they don't have symptoms, they don't have COVID, they haven't tested positive, so they're therefore kind of safe and clear to come to work. And then secondarily, we ask people and we remind them and we give training about the expectations of behavior in the workplace around social distancing, facial coverings, following signage, or touchless retail or other dispatch protocols that we've put in place. And then we give people a confirmation to come to the workplace. In the weeks to come, the next 2 weeks, we expect to bring this to the remaining employees, and we'll also deploy this internationally as well as for visitors and contractors, which many of the V-teamers were asking about. And so we're doing everything we can to have a kind of a common code of behavior in all of our workplaces and for all of our employees. And we're really excited about the feedback that we're getting and the fact that our folks are pulling together to make this a safe place for all of us to be.
Yeah. And the reminder, we can't let this go. If you're not feeling well, stay home and reach out to your supervisor, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we know a lot of the V-teamers are asking questions about what's going to happen after October 1st, because we're going to kind of stay in this construct until October 1st. And we said that since the middle of May, we wanted to have this construct until October 1st intentionally so that we could, could get all the kinks worked out, move to the next phase of our business as usual, our new normal. And we also know that we would have a better understanding of how did COVID continue to evolve. And we've seen throughout various regions of the world and various regions of the United States that some parts are having surges, some parts are having plateaus, some parts of the world are on the decline. And so we think this gives us enough time to see through those phases. Also, often late August, early September, schools reopen. And so we know many families and many V-teamers are dealing with the uncertainty that currently exists as school systems and communities around the world are figuring out how to keep educating our youth, keep the schools operating and do so in a safe way. So we're going to keep our business operations the way they are through October 1st, have the knowledge of what's going on with all of the school and care facilities, so that then for October 1st and beyond, we can have a new set of guidelines for how we want to run the company. Again, keeping our customers connected, keeping our V-teamers safe.
Yeah, always good reminders there. And all of the resources about COVID-19 and our response can be found on VZ Web, inside Verizon The Street. And if you have anything specific to you, you can always use the Ask Christy mailbox as a reminder there. I want to change gears one more time, Christy. Huge milestone occurred over the weekend. The Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law 30 years ago. What does this anniversary mean to you, to Verizon employees, and our customers as we look at everything it's done over the past 3 decades?
It's amazing that 30 years have gone by. I remember when the ADA first passed, and there was a lot of questions, and the world and employers were figuring out how to adjust and what was implied. But I think it was such an amazing milestone to recognize that all people need to have equal access and equal opportunity, including individuals with disabilities. So the ADA was really breakthrough in that way. And we think it's a great opportunity this week to just take pause and reflect on how many of our fellow citizens have disabilities and how important it is for them to have access to work and access to society and communities to carry out their lives in a meaningful way. So we, Verizon, stand with them and are very excited to honor this important milestone this week. There's over 60 million Americans with disabilities. And so there's a lot more that needs to be done to make sure that society is inclusive for them. And I think it's fitting with our whole conversation about inclusion and also racial justice. And so we continue to do a lot on many of these fronts. And actually, Jeremy, it'll be one of the things we believe we will also be able to get a really good understanding of in our Pulse Plus survey as well. How are our employees feeling? How well do they feel included and connected to the work and coworkers and the company? And so I think it's a strength of ours, but we always believe we can be doing better. I know later this week we'll see with Yahoo and VMG, they're championing ADA 30 along with our advanced ERG. And I know the rest of the V-teamers will be excited to join the celebration with them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that as well. And Christy, always appreciate the time and the answers. Again, if you have any other questions for Christy, you can always send them to the Ask Christy mailbox. Christy, thanks so much. I want to back it up again, talk about the results webcast that we had Friday, talking about our Q2 results, but also an opportunity to recognize some of our own folks, including Irma Berger, who's the solution specialist out of Columbia, South Carolina. Mike, if you want to go ahead and roll that video. Irma was telling us all about all of the volunteering she did throughout the course of the year. 300 hours, no small feat, giving back to different organizations. She's a veteran. Hans surprised her with this Credo award and this nice little note Friday that meant so much to all of us to see that happen. But she had these kind of wise words of wisdom to share with us after the presentation. Here's what she said.
I want to communicate that if you are volunteering, you're making a difference in the community, and getting involved will help and it will impact your families and community. So it becomes something bigger than yourself. By volunteering, you are representing Verizon Wireless, caring for the environment and the community.
Always a good reminder there. Irma, congratulations again. Like I said, if you missed that moment or any of the other information, certainly go back to watch the replay of that. So wrapping it up today, as we're looking ahead to what's coming up the rest of the week. Mike, let's go and take the next slide. Citizen Verizon, the Academy, or the Assembly, charging social change forward. That premieres tomorrow. Event will be live streamed on Yahoo Finance from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Bringing together business leaders, activists, and thought leaders for the inaugural assembly. The hour-long event will focus on the importance of corporate responsibility to address the most pressing global economic, environmental, and social issues. See some of the lineup of speakers there that we have. Andrew Yang, among many of them, many other folks there that will take part in the first inaugural assembly tomorrow. Again, live stream. Starts on Yahoo Finance at 5 p.m. tomorrow. And that's not all. Looking ahead tomorrow, we have this quick little tease from Andy. Andy, what's going on?
If you're a fan of lakes, there are 10,000 reasons to enjoy our next staycation road trip destination. And if that's not a big enough clue, we're going to party like it's 1999. The staycation road trip rolls on tomorrow, noon Eastern on Up to Speed. We'll see you then.
Hopefully Andy's got the little red Corvette tuned up for that. There's another tease for you there if you don't know what we're talking about. Hopefully no purple rain in the forecast. But there we go. That's a look at what's happening around and inside Verizon today. Andy will be with you tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. And until next time, you're Up to Speed.